Greetings, I'm Sami Laakso from Snowdale Design and I welcome you to the Gamefound launch stream for the first expansion for Lands of Galzyr, Dreams and Mysteries. And the campaign should go live pretty much right now. And well, I welcome everyone to the stream, including Marsa, Daniel, Shiny Pants, Trevor, Bernadette, Mihaha, and of course Kesim the Manuel. And yes, Gens is playing on the background. Let's start with the trailer for the expansion and we'll go from there. With this expansion, we can build upon the vast open world of Lands of Galzyr and make it even better. The large amount of great feedback we received from fans has also helped us make the expansion as good as it can be. The adventure will be deeper and richer than ever before. If that sounds good to you, we would love to gain your support. Saw, and as I said, the campaign is live right now, and there should be a link in the description if you're watching this from YouTube. Welcome to the stream, Tiutti and Trevor, if I didn't welcome you yet. So what we had plans for this stream is that we are going to go through the campaign page together to see what we have. And yes, thank you Kesim for reminding me to lower the music volume. That should be better. Let me know if it's too low or if it's fine now. I lowered it quite a bit. So let's take a look at the campaign page together, and I also have the prototype of the expansion at hand, so I can show you the components as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or in the chat, and I will get back to those. We'll have a separate Q&A session later, but I can still answer any of your questions in this one as well if you have some right away. So let's take a look over here, and let's see if we can put the counter if it works. It nearly works as intended. Let's see if I can manage to fix this, because I couldn't put it properly before the stream started. So let's had used it just a little bit, and that now should fix it. Yes, so now we have a live counter over there as well as we go through the campaign page. So, well, to begin with, we have of course the campaign video and also this this stream wherever you might be looking right now. And yeah, the game will be up to 1 to 5 players, from 1 to 4 players with the expansion. It's not something we particularly like recommend, at least right away, because it will increase downtime if you play with 5 players simultaneously, but it will introduce one extra adventure, so you can have extra save slot for one more friend, or if you want to switch characters. But yeah, the additional adventure will increase the maximum amount of players to 5. Welcome to the stream, Emil, Koglistro, Sir Tekos, and Tontsa. Nice to have you all here. So here we have a quick overview of kind of like how the expansion slots in the base game. So, well, you can see here a new character with their adventure board. We'll take a closer look at that a bit later when we go to the component section. Oh, I could also let's see if this breaks stuff, because I have the testing version there. It's still showing me the test. Maybe we'll just live with it, or I can... Oh yes, I can do that. That looks a bit more presentable without the test. So yeah, so you can see all the cards that the expansion will come with, a bunch of new cards that you will be able to just slot in the base game, and you don't need to worry about the expansion. Basically, you just slot the expansion in, and then your game will be the Galzyr itself will be richer and deeper than it was before. Here we have a quick overview of, well, what's the expansion, but also what's the base game for those who come to this page for the first time without knowing what's Lands of Galzyr. We wanted to give a little bit of heads up of how it has the digital storybook. It's an open world adventure game. It has a clever saving mechanism which lets you play with different people every time and also get the game on the table very fast and very easily. And then we have a quick look on all the components that come with the expansion, and also picture of the packaging, as it comes with this rather slim packaging, but it's packed full of stuff, like all the cards that come with the expansion. Here we have the highlights of what the expansion will include, and first of all, it has the new adventure Noko and Umi, Flat-Headed Frog Agama, and Strawberry Poison Frog Duo, and they will of course have their own adventure board, own meeple and prestige token, etc. But we'll look at those closer when we go to the expansion contents, which is further down the line over here. It will also include extended personal stories, so those of you who have played the base game might recall that when you start a fresh adventure, you can play through three-part quest that tells your story on how and why your specific adventure came to Galzyr. But in this expansion, all of those stories will be extended, so once the part 3 ends, it will actually continue for 9 extra cards, 9 extra little stories So in total it will be 12 cards long, and it will take roughly 1 in-game year, so 12 games to play through that story. And each of the adventures, for all the base game adventures, 4 of them, and also Noko and Umi, they will all have this this extra extended storyline for them. They will also they are themed as dreams, like something that the adventurer has had at the back of their mind for a long time, and now they will be able to realize those dreams in Dreams and Mysteries expansion. And that leads us to the new special abilities that you will be able to unlock during your playthrough of your adventure's dream. And as for that, well, maybe I can show you a little sneak peek. So let's see, here's a small file. This is not everything that comes in the expansion, but this is all that we got for the prototype. It will have 240 cards. The base game has 480, and the expansion will come with 240 cards, so 50% more content basically. And let's take a look. Here's E0, for example. Keridai's dream is dream of discovery, and you will get some of these as you play through, and they have of course story scenes that you can take, but they also have specific conditions that you need to meet in order to start the scene. So for example, with this one, Keridai needs to be at Sarevar with at least 4 prestige. For the next part, they need to be at Reinstrom, they need to have a specific tag or specific amount of gold, etc, etc. So these are a bit harder to achieve and to complete, so you are not going to speed run through these, as you need to prepare appropriately to be able to achieve these. So there's a long storyline for each adventure with their own multiple part dream, and you will unlock new special abilities. For example, here's 2 for more. They will be able to unlock those 2, and then some that we also have artwork complete is for Keridai, so you will be unlock new number 0 special abilities as you play through the dream storyline. Welcome to the stream, Fluffy, Smien, and Calvin. Nice to have you here. Fluffy says that the extended personal stories is what they're most excited in this expansion. We gathered and listened to a huge pile of feedback from all the people who have played and liked the base game, and we tried to group them together, like people want this and this and this, and special abilities was one of them, and longer storylines was one of them as well. And we tried to incorporate as much of that feedback into our expansion while still staying true to our own vision of what Galzyr should be, and these do align with those, and they were nice to put together, basically the long storylines and the new adventure abilities. So while you play through the long storyline, that actually has like a roadblocks to it, so you need to complete and gather and prepare for them, and then you will be able to unlock the new special abilities. Smien is saying congrats on already reaching 10,000 during the stream, and we'll hope we can reach 15 before the end. So here's we are right now at 12,477, so that's a good amount during the stream already. Hi Calvin, so happy for the launch. Calvin is there's an Ausla plush on the way. I think there's, yes, that's over there. As we go to the reward section, we can take a closer look, but this is also available on the project page right now, so you can get the expansion with or without the plushie. And what else? Exciting news. How longer storylines work. Calvin is 12k. Well, now it's 13. Youth is a surprisingly big expansion in a surprisingly small box. Yeah, so as a comparison, here's the base game box, and this is the expansion box. So it's roughly the same height, but it's very narrow indeed. So, and once you open it, it's just packed full of basically the which way I hold it here. The center here is full of just cards, just card decks all through the box, and then a small section for the meeple and the fun sports on top and rules. So we basically made the box as small as it can be and as full of content as we could. Trevor saying the Azul Plus is for sale in the expansion, however, unfortunately, bird stuffed animals are not welcome in my house. Okay, or some other stuffed pluses welcome to your house if birds are not. Genzi is already in the base game as a companion you can meet, but he's going to stay here. He's not. He first of all, even if he tried, he does not fit in the expansion box. Let's continue a little bit. So the next one is an air of mystery. So there are, without spoiling, the base game has some overarching stories in it that all players can take part in whenever they take place. And this expansion will not be an exception. It will also have a new large storyline that you will be able to, it will pop up here and there, and players can take part in it. Without spoiling, it's like, will you team up with an old detective to figure out what's going on? Well, that's up to you. There's a detective who's going after some mysteries that you will encounter. Just one other fun like teaser is, for example, this card. Well, you'll need to get play the expansion to see what's going on in the mystery story. I don't want to spoil us. A huge fun part of Lands of Galzyr in general and story games is exploring and figuring out and finding out stories yourself. Let's see. Youth saying 3D animation in the promotional material, great. I'm happy you like them. Our goal is always to show the game as truthfully as possible, so you can make your own purchasing decision if you like what you see. More. The expansion will have more in terms of new stories for him as or for the adventures, as well as special abilities, of course. Calvin has to go to sleep. Thanks for joining. If you stay just a few moments, you will hopefully see the 15k. But thanks for joining, and have a nice evening. Well, that's it. Now we have 15, so that took 18 minutes based on my timer. So let's put that on. So next up on our list we have, well, a lot more. We get a lot more. New quests, new events, new companions, new items, all kinds of stuff new. And basically you just, when you open the expansion, you just put everything inside the base game, and then you can toss the expansion box and just play the game as normal, as the expansion is designed to really integrate into the base game seamlessly. Yeah, it shows here 18 minutes and 20 seconds. Thank you for all the congratulations. The expansion will happen. You will get it if you back the campaign. Yeah, video translation. Bye bye with the confetti. Let's have them just a little bit more, and then we can call call it quits, so it doesn't destroy the bitrate any more than it has to. So here we have some of the reasons why you might want to back the campaign, being part of the journey. We will have back polls, and we will, together with the community, we will create a storyline for the expansion. You will be able to success your favorite animals that will be featured in the storyline. You will be then able to success new, like what would you... First you success the animals, then we will have a poll where we will see what's the most popular one from the suggestions. Then you will be able to success what kind of storyline you would like to happen with that said animal. And after that we will create a poll where you can, well, vote on the storyline ideas, after which we will implement it into the game itself. Well, that's the part of the journey mostly. We have discounts for bundles if you want the base game in addition to the expansion or sleeves or the plushie or some accessories. You will see them very soon in the reward section. And everyone who backs the game will get the or the expansion will get it before anyone else. Basically, we always send first to our backers. And maybe that's enough destroying the bitrate. Different reward levels we have. You can get the expansion and the plushie. You can get just the expansion, which is the lowest tier, just 25 euros. You can get the expansion. We try to make it as affordable as possible, so the price should not be too big of an issue for those who already have the base game, for example. And some noteworthy is that the prices on Gamefound do include value-added tax for US, Canada, EU, and also Australia. Then we have the gameplay all-in, which is basically just the base game, and the expansion. Those you can get for 90, and the regular price for the base game is 80 euros, so you can essentially get the expansion for just for 10 euros with this bundle. And then we have an all-in with accessories, with the playmat and dice tray dice and adventure journal and stuff, and the plushie. And with all of these, when you if you try to add one to your pledge, you will be able to choose if you want sleeves or without sleeves with the base game and the expansion. So those are you can get sleeves as well, and they are kind of hidden behind the drop down. If you are a retailer and watching this, please contact us to the email listed here, info@snowdaledesign.fi. If you want to make a pre-order, we may do those separately from the Gamefound campaign. Thank you for all the congratulations still. Beach guy saying, I adore Lands of Galzyr. Thank you so much for creating it. Can't wait for the expansions. Greetings from Hungary. Thank you very much. We create our games for people to enjoy them, so it's always heartwarming to hear when people like what we do. You can get individual add-ons or like expansion and the base game, but you can also, if you want to do a group pledge and save on shipping, you can add multiple pledges, like these rewards, to your pledge. So you are not limited to adding just the add-ons, but you can also add the rewards if you, well, essentially, if you want to share shipping costs between friends and play groups, for example. We have the Ausla plushie that I already showed quickly. So that's she's looks like this, and she has weighted beams in her feet as well as her butt, so she's pretty stable as she's kind of bottom heavy, so she can sit on your shelf or wherever you want her to sit quite firmly. Thank you for the congratulations on the successful start, Chris. Same thanks for Lais, Laiani, and well, Mihaha, Emil, Manang, and Fluffy, and everyone else. Magdalena says that they initially chose Keridai and more and have continued to play only with those adventures, which they've grown quite attached to, hoping for Keridai and more plushies. Yeah, we started with just one to test the waters to see if people actually like and want them, because it's quite actually a process to go through all the different stages of designing and having samples and prototypes made for plushies. And well, we still consider ourselves a board game company and not a plushie company, so it does take quite a lot of resources to get to this stage with the plushie. So we wanted to test the waters and see if people like them, and then we'll go forward from there. But if the reception is positive and there's a lot of demand, we will definitely consider doing the remaining adventures as well. And as for the size, she's, well, you can see compared to my hand, for example, what size she is. She's roughly 14 centimeters, and that's roughly 5.5 inches tall. So that's her size. Fluffy is supposed to be working right now, but I think they will take the rest of the day off to play Lands of Galzyr and celebrate. I take no responsibility from that. Thank you for the congratulations, Laudemiro. Cat is not pleased that you took her toy. Kenji is fine. He's starting to sleep now. I put it back. No worries. So, and as for the add-ons, you will be able to add peacemakers alongside with its mini expansion Shared Nightmares to your pledge as well if you want. But just something to note is that everything except the expansion and the plushie are all right now in stock on our website. So if you do want any of those and not wait for essentially a year for the delivery, you can get those immediately from our online store. But if you don't mind waiting and want to save a little bit on shipping, you can also add our peacemakers to your pledge. We don't have Tale of Merchants right now as an add-on, as we are quite limited on the stock, and next year Tale of Merchants is going to turn 10 years, and we have plans for that. And stretch goals, we don't have any. We really don't use them too often. They rarely make sense for us, so we just usually want to plan a complete package with everything that goes inside, and then calculate the price points and everything based on what we want the game to be. And stretch goals, we don't want to do artificial stretch goals, and if you don't do artificial stretch goals, they make really not too much sense in most cases for us. And now we can see the list of everything that comes with the expansion. We have the meeple, of course, for Noko and Umi, which looks like this. So that's their very colorful little meeple. Let's compare them to one of the old ones. For here's few. So here's Boomir and Keridai, for example, and Noko and Umi fit right in like so. This camera I can't bring too close, otherwise it can't focus anymore. But it's how he looks, and of course that's double-sided printing as with all our meeples. And then we have the adventure board, which is again very similar to those you have in the base game, just different graphics. You can rotate to keep track of how much gold you have left with Noko and Umi. So that's how the adventure board looks like. Then we have the custom plastic pegs, which are the same ones as in the base game. We just include extras, so any adventure can have any combination of skill marks and you will never run out. So you can just toss these in with your base game skill marks, and you're good to go. You have enough for five adventures. And here's just a quick reminder that all our games have plenty of illustrations done by me and Jesus Delgado, and well, we don't use AI to do our writing, basically anything. We just don't use it. Generative AI, we don't support projects with that, and we don't do it ourselves. So that's a gentle reminder of that, basically. 240 cards, which we have sample here that I showed earlier, but I can show if I don't throw everything on the floor. Here's the base game has these are the base game cards plus some in the save slots. So basically with expansion you can take this. If you don't, it will fit sleeved, but without sleeves you can take just this off, and then essentially you can take all the cards. Of course you need to follow the instructions on where to put them, but you will be able to put them all in the same one over here. There's currently a little bit more space even, because this is not quite all of them, but they will all fit on this single, so you will have all your library cards in just one of these trays. And you will also get 4 new dividers, out of which 3 are for the library. So you will get number 350, 400 and 450, which you will be able to put here and organize your library with those. And if you sleeve your cards, they won't all fit in this tray, but you will put some in this one, which has enough space for combined. These have enough space for all the cards sleeved, which you can get from the campaign page if you want sleeves for your expansion or base game or both. All of those options are available there. So we get new quests, we get new companion cards, new items, new adventure status cards, new local status cards, new events, double location cards, and also a few global status cards. And well, there's going to be over 200 new stories. The base game has roughly 400, so this will have about 200 more. So together you will have like 600 stories to explore. The card dividers that I already showed, these are also very similar to the base game. You will get a few new wooden quest tokens. These are the notice board limit is still going to be 3 when you need to add more there. but with more players, it's more likely that if many players choose to abandon quests at the same time, that you, in rare cases, might run out of these. And also the new storyline at some point might need a few of these, but again, I know no more spoilers about that, but just to be safe, we included a few of these. The timer tokens, same thing, they are somewhere here. Similar to those in the base game, just new different icons, just to be sure that you don't run out if you play with 5 players at the same time. And of course, Noko's and Umi's own prestige token with +10 on the other side. And then finally, we have 2 documents. One of them is a new achievement sheet, which will have more achievements for you to hunt down if you wish from the expansion content, and also the expansion booklet that will have you can read a little bit more about Noko and Umi. There's 2 small new rules, of course the credits. The rules, the first one is that if you have multiple 0 cards, these special abilities, at the start of the game you need to choose one of them to play, that you choose for any given playthrough or game. So you will pick, you can unlock multiples, but you always have to choose one before during the setup, and that's one of the rules. And the other one is new more simple co-op movement rules. So instead of everyone moving on their own turn, you can move together, which makes it a little bit easier to partner with other players, which players have been asking for. So that's an optional one that you can use when you're playing cooperatively if you want. And the other side of this is you will have of course the list of components, and then you have inside you have here how you integrate the expansion into the base game. You just put cards in different places, so you just need to do this once by following the instructions, and then you can, well, not go back to that ever. And here's new reset rules if you want to reset an individual adventure or the whole game. Because of the expansion content, there's different things that you need to do compared to just the base game. So if you have the expansion, you should not reset with the base game rules, but rather with the expansion reset rules. So that's basically everything. We wanted to keep the new rules to minimum and just explore what new stories, what new things we can do with the pre-existing rules, as they are really flexible already, and we can do a lot of new kinds of stories even with the same rules. As we can print a lot of new things in the cards, and we can ask you to do weird stuff in the storybook without new rules in the actual rule book. So no new rules overhead really. So that's everything you get in with the game. And as with all our recent games, the wood, paper and cardboard are FSC certified, which means that they are sourced from recycled materials or from responsibly grown forests. And as briefly mentioned before, the game utilizes a digital storybook, so you do need a device with a browser to play the game. And with this expansion, the storybook will contain over 1 million words of stories, which is pretty mind-blowing actually. And here are some of the perks that the game has thanks to the digital storybook aspect. Like, it's very easy to use. You just click a button, you will go to the next story. You really don't need to explain you tell a few paragraphs of how to use the storybook, and anyone can use it. No referencing to different matrices to find the correct story or anything like that. There's no spoilers when you play it, so you will only see the part of the story that is relevant to you right now, and you can't mistakenly peek ahead and see something you should not see, basically. And also we can update the storybook and fix any possible typos and fine-tune the experience later, which we have done for years with the base game already, and we will continue that the same with the expansion. And it also includes 2-hour story, not story, but soundtrack that you are listening right now. Kesime is asking, did we already talk about how the storybook works with the expansion? No. So with the storybook, let's see if I can open it. Yeah, I should be able to. Let's open in a different tab. Let's see if I remember. Yes. So once we push an update, when the expansion gets released, when you start the game, it will simply have a checkbox that you can click, and it will tell the storybook that you have the expansion, and it can then show you the different expansion content, and I can show it you in just a moment, because I'm opening the development version of the storybook, and that is not quite as speedy as the one that is available for public. So let's see here. So this is how it will look after the update. Instead of just right away clicking start, you simply click here that you do own the Dreams and Mysteries expansion, and that's it. That's everything you need to do. You just toggle the expansion on, and then when you access the storybook, there will be more numbers. As you can see, the base game ends before 400, and now there will be more stories. So that's very simple. You just click it, and if you open the storybook with the same device later, it will remember that you already toggled the expansion on. And if you mistakenly leave it untoggled, you can still go to the settings, and you will always also be able to toggle it on and off if you own it. So that's the expansion in the storybook. Yes, and can continue onwards. So here we have a quick how to play. Well, basically the base game, but the expansion works with the same rules. So to set up, you take cards from the save slots. You have different save slots for your adventure and for the world. So each adventure will take cards from their save slot, and they will have your quests, your items, your things that you didn't complete in the last session. And then you will also take everything from the so-called global save slot, and that will put cards on top of the game board. It will have the event deck, it will have some quests, etc, etc. So the status the game world was left in is stored in the global save slot, and then each adventure's own save slot keeps track of your own stuff. And in every round you may first move, and then you resolve a single story. And with the new movement cooperative variant, you can also move together and then resolve stories one by one, depending on which way you want. and the different scenes are all done in the digital storybook. But every time there are options that you can choose what you want to do. Actually, why not? I can show like here. Let's take a scene, some of the very early ones from the. Let's not go to the market. For example, here you can visit the hot springs, and if you do so, then you have options on what you can do. And if you choose one of these with a bubble like this, it's a skill check, and then you will roll the dice available in the base game, and your roll can be helped with the skill marks you have on your adventure board, like right here. That will give you access to better dice. Then you can use items, you can use companions and statuses to mitigate the die rolls. And after rolling for the skill checks, we will reveal the outcome and see how well you did. Maybe you failed, maybe you succeeded, maybe you get a major success, and then we see some story happens. Maybe you get gold, maybe you get items, maybe you meet new folks, and anything can happen. And then either the scene can end like this does over here, and then it's the next player's turn, or maybe you have a longer storyline. Let's see, for example here, and then the story could continue. Let's see, first we do this and it could continue, might be more story, and then you get to roll again for skill checks, and maybe you rolled something and stuff happens, you get prestige, which is the goal of the game, and things of that nature. So with storybook, you go through a story, roll some dice, use some items, use companions and stuff. That's the skill check included in those. Then at the end of round, everyone has taken a single story. We move this day token of the calendar one space forward, which keeps track of when the game ends and some other timed effects that might be there. And after a certain number of rounds, the game will end. If you played cooperatively, you calculate how much prestige you got in total, and that will give you a little bit of different story in the end. And if you played competitively, you see who got the most prestige, and again that will influence the final story a little bit. But the goal of the game is to explore and have fun immersing yourself in Galzyr, the region, and the prestige is kind of like a secondary goal, but that's the mechanical goal that you can go after if you want. And every game ends with either you can play immediately again if you want, but if you don't want to play immediately and do it later, you can just put the cards back in the save slots, and the next game continues where the previous one was left off. But you can always switch up who's playing. Usually the most fun way is that everyone has their own adventure, and then you continue your story. Even if you are not in the next game, your adventure save slot will wait for you for the next game. And you can download the rulebook for the base game and for the expansion over on the campaign page if you want to take a look of those. We also have a lot of gameplay videos available for the base game, so you can check them out if you have not played the game yet and are not sure if it would be for you. We have already a few previews and first impressions that content creators have been making. We will have more during the campaign as well, as they will pop up. We will add them to the campaign page as they come, and we will also most likely make a list in the project updates when new ones come, so you can check them out as we go. So some of these are already here, and then we have a section for reviews of the base game. So if you are unfamiliar with Lands of Galzyr before, you can check out some of the reviews that the base game has already gotten to get the feel of what kind of game it is, and if you and your game group might like it. So those were the mostly reviews, and these are then playthroughs. So if you prefer to decide if you like a game or not based on an actual gameplay, like an hour or two long playthrough where the play through the game, you can also find those here. Of course, these include a little bit more spoilers, as you will see go through the a full game. But the game has so many stories that even if you watch one of these, it's a really minimal amount of spoilers for you, as each of the individual stories can also branch out in different ways based on your decision and based on your skill check die rolls and results. We have some live streams like this one, and you can see the schedule for it over here. So today we have the campaign launch stream, and then later this week we are going to do a question and answer stream, which there should also already be an update that you can check, and you can write your questions if you have, and we will answer them in the stream. You can also join the stream and ask there, but that's just one of the next ones. Then we have two gameplay streams. One is with Anton from Anton VS, and one is with Dennis from aka Shertekos. You can see the dates for those. And then we have two card art drawing streams where I will be illustrating some of the cards for the expansion that are still missing their artwork. Like the expansion has still some cards that are black and white, and some of them are totally white. They don't have an illustration on them yet. So I'm going to do two cards during the streams during the campaign. And yes, Sirtekos is on the stream right now, spectating. And then on the last day of the campaign, we will have an end stream where we have a look back of what happened during the campaign. But let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. We are not there yet. This is the first day, not the last day. Here's a quick section of Dimyria, the world of animal folks, where the game takes place in, which is what we call the little world we have created for our games. And you can see the timeline of years in universe years on where our different games take place in that world. And this is the expansion for Lands of Galzyr, so that's over here. And with future games we like to expand the world in different ways, and oftentimes it means a different region or different time and stuff. But this one is obviously in the same place with at the same time as the base game. Here's a quick look of our previous games, our social media accounts and stuff. Theme of who's behind Dreams and Mysteries. I'm doing game design, illustration, graphic design, and story writing. Then we have Jesus from Spain, who's also doing illustrations. For example, the Noko and Umi's key artwork over here. This is made by him. The same that's also on the box here. This is made drawn by Jesus. And well, all of these three card illustrations on the back here too, these are also made by him. So there's a mix of illustrations both by me and by Jesus in the base game and expansion. Miha is asking, will there be even more expansions maybe in the future? I think I remember a saber-toothed tiger character from somewhere. Yes, the base game already teased this with in the rulebook, there's a list of all the icons on the back of the rulebook, including the adventure icons, and there's actually 6 listed when the base game comes with 4, and now we are increasing that to 5 with Noko and Umi. So there's one more adventure coming in the second expansion that we will do in the future. But let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. But yes, there's going to be a second expansion after the first one when we get time to to do it. Magdalena says that the Noko and Umi duo are extremely cute, and I do agree with that. And then we have Ville Reinkainen, one of my friends here from Finland, who is also helping with the story writing of the game. And then we have Jordan McCarthy from all the way from Canada, and he's also doing some heavy lifting on the story department. If you have played the base game, you'll know that all of us have all been part of that as well. And then we have Ville number 2, Ville Kesänen, who's doing some customer support and sales stuff. And then why not we put Kenzie here as our team motivator and head component tester. Shipping section, super exciting stuff. We have friendly shipping for US, Canada, European Union and Australia. And in those regions, all taxes are also value-added tax, VAT is included in the pledge prices. And here you can see the shipping price estimates for the different regions based on what you pledge for. And then we have refund and risk and challenges that you can go and read yourself if you if you want. Ricardo is asking, will there be new music tracks maybe in the far future? The original soundtrack was outstanding. I love to see that work expanded too. We have been toying around with the idea of expanding the soundtrack, but right now we are not exactly sure if we do it, and if we were to do it, how we would do it, as the base game has now 12 tracks each with a length of roughly 10 minutes, so it's 2 hours, and one track is thematically 1 month, so we have 12 for each of the months in the game. So we have been toying around that it would be annoying to add, for example, half. Like this expansion is a little bit like adding 50% of everything. Well, just one adventure, but 50% more cards and stuff. So if we were at 6 music tracks, like how would that play out with the month theming we have right now? So I'm not sure how we would do that. We would prefer kind of like double it immediately, like if we could, but maybe that's something we do with the second expansion. Like let's add new music. Like CD1 is year 1 and CD2 is year 2 maybe. We are toying with the idea, but I don't have a solid answer for that right now. Thanks for joining in. Sortekos saying that they have to go. Wish the best for the campaign. Absolutely love the expansion and the game itself, of course. and Ausala. Yeah, thanks for joining. We did manage this side. We did already manage to double our goal during the 1 hour stream up to 30,000 from 15, so it's really great. And yeah, if no one has any questions right away, I think we are also going to close the stream, as we went through the campaign, saw the expansion, saw a quick peek of everything that comes in it, and we will meet in the upcoming new streams for gameplay streams, FAQ and the drawing streams. And as always, if you can't make it to those streams, you can always join them later on and watch them on YouTube as video on demand. Ricardo is asking, is there an ending, so to speak, to this expansion story? You hinted there was a sort of one in the base game, although I never ran into it. The base game has one big overarching story that once you finish it, you might feel content, like, okay, I have seen a good chunk of the game now, and this expansion will have a similar big overarching story that anyone can take part in the mystery story, and that could be seen as an end after you finish it. But it may be even more concrete ending might be the dreams that the adventurers have as you complete these. For example, here's the Noko and Umi's one of their dream cards. So if you manage to complete this full dream for Noko and Umi, this is not all of them, but if you manage to complete this, then you might be really in a satisfying place with that character, and maybe you want to play a different character after that. So with this long storyline for each adventure, instead of the world having an ending, you could have a very satisfying and solid ending for each individual adventure. You will still be able to play with them, or you can reset them, or you can just retire them. It's up to you, as we believe quite heavily that Lands of Galzyr is to support the open world feeling that we want to give you. We don't want to tell you that your story ends here. You can try to find a satisfying ending there yourself if you want one, or just continue roaming the land as long as you want. But now there are more ways to try to find the satisfying ending, essentially, if that makes sense. Thanks for joining in, I don't know how to say Coglistro. Have a nice evening or night in Australia. Yeah, happy to hear you are sad. You like the answer, Ricardo. Thank you for the well wishes for the campaign, and they can't wait for to experience the expansion. We are every day hard at work to trying to finish it for all of you, but this felt like a good situation, good time to put the campaign out, and we will continue. First, we will of course do the community quests and stuff with everyone during the campaign, but afterwards also we will continue working hard to finish the game for the expansion for all of you, as it's an expansion for the fans of the game. As we talked earlier, we took a questionnaire and gathered a lot of feedback from Discord, from Board Game Geek, from the questionnaire itself, and from online on various places where people had given feedback on Lands of Galzyr, on how they would like to see it improve, and we collected all of that information and tried to incorporate all of it in the expansion to make it the expansion everyone would like the base game to have, essentially. So well, I think that's good place to wrap things up. So I thank everyone for joining the stream, and I hope you had a good time, and enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of the campaign together with everyone. Thank you for joining in, and see you next time.